So we are a B2B ingredients company. We're partnered with big food companies like Hormel Foods, where they use our ingredients to develop really cool products. And so Hormel now, for example, has a line of products called Happy Oil Plants. Now, of course, Hormel are the fake folks who bring you Spam, but they also have their own plant-based meat line. Similarly, we're partnered with Purdue Farms, which is the major chicken giant, and they put out a product that's called Purdue Chicken Plus that has better meat co-ingredients in it. And so these are just a couple of our partnerships, and we're looking forward as we continue to grow this company to be able to supply the huge food companies with ingredients that they need to help them use fewer animals.
Oh no, that's great. So you're pretty much focusing with the B2B as far as going to the main producers. And again, you're in a new industry. It's kind of, I don't want to say unproven because, like you've said, people have been using fermentation and stuff like that for thousands of years. But in this manner, I think it's a little bit more unproven than some other areas. How hard was it knocking on doors like Purdue or Hormel to be like, hey, we have a great alternative for you that's going to be better than the other alternative meats? Like, how did you strategize getting those partnerships?
Well, we are a small company, but we're a small company that's doing big things. And we've always dreamt big, and that's not wanting to work with the biggest food companies. And so when I started this company 4 years ago, I knew that this was not a company where we wanted to just be a niche player. We wanted to be in the large scale protein industry to actually make a difference in the world. And so rather than trying to work with individual restaurants or cafes, we went straight to the biggest food companies, including the Purdue's of the world. Some of them said no, some of them said yes. And so when we inked a deal with Purdue Farms, we were only employees of our company, myself included. And so we were this brand new company with 3 people working here, inking a deal with a multi-billion giant that has been around for generations. We're very proud of that. And Purdue is a good partner to us and still is to this day. And so I think that some people suffer from a poverty of ambition where they think that, well, they can only do so much, they can only accomplish so much. And too often the barriers that we place on ourselves are mental. They aren't actual, they're just in our minds. And we dreamt big and we're going big, and that's what we're going to.
Okay. So with that, then, how long do you see that stretch, and how big is that going to get? I mean, do you think that you're going to see it to where, your products mixed in like a half chicken, half, your product type mix, like a 50-50 mix? I mean, what's the vision, the ultimate goal, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't mind you asking, David, and that is part of our goal. So the product that Purdue sells is called Purdue Chicken Plus, and it's 50% chicken, 50% plant-based. So if you can't get your kids to eat their veggies, but they like eating chicken nuggets, you feed them that instead. In fact, these chicken nuggets that Purdue sells with better meat co-ingredients were rated by the Food Network as the #1 best tasting frozen chicken nugget in America. So if you think about that, the #1 tasting frozen chicken nugget in America is only 50% chicken. Imagine if all chicken nuggets could be only 50% chicken, you would need hundreds of millions, if not maybe a billion fewer chickens, which means that you could free up huge amounts of land and other resources. You could reduce calories, cholesterol, saturated fat in the American diet, all without people having to switch. You don't need to switch. And so that's a big benefit of blending and going hybrid on these type of products. So I'm a big believer in it. At the same time, we also need to create not just hybrids, but the equivalent of the all-electric. And that's a tougher bar to meet, but we do it. And so we also are working on many applications where our customers can make fully animal-free meats and create really succulent